Okay, so I'm attempting to be a YouTuber, right? This is what I'm doing here. This is why I'm recording this video now, and later I will upload it for maybe one people to see it. um, Hopefully more. But I want to talk about this same thing that I'm doing, which is recording a video now and sharing what's on my head, on in my head. I don't know. You get the point. And and obviously the role of the media that we use, like YouTube channels, maybe TikTok. I don't use TikTok, but people do. Instagram, any social media that allows a person to share something. And what I like about these things, although I haven't been a heavy social media user, and I guess this is the first time that I'm actually putting content out, nonetheless, what I like about these products or channels of communication, of channel for ideas to be expressed through, is that I find myself very often trying to talk about things or ideas with people, and most of the time they don't really care. I'm the person in the group that doesn't shut up, doesn't or can't, or I just cannot stop talking. Like everything interests me. I can talk about anything. And if I don't know anything about it, I will ask questions, and I would try and maybe not guess, but try to understand on the fly. It's like almost I would think out loud. And I think that annoys people. That and just talking about anything or talking about things. Like people don't like to hone into a concept, an idea, or anything. And they like even less you thinking out loud and trying to come up with a possible and probably wrong answer to whatever it is that we're talking about. But I find the exercise really important to me for some reason. The exercise of trying to figure out something, even if you don't know anything about that, by associating with things that you do know about. I find that fun, and I have only really maybe one or two friends, but mostly one, like really close friends, best friends, that entertain me when I'm talking about these weird necessarily, but just talking about anything with seriousness. Maybe that's a way of looking at it, is that I take all topics, all concepts, all things more seriously than I should. I know that that can be a flaw, by the way. I'm not necessarily talking, negatively of the people that don't like to talk about these things with me. I know that I can be quite a lot. That's also actually one of the reasons why I'm here, right? Because if someone likes of this type of speaking, or this way of just communication, then they will watch it, and I don't have to bother my friends with any of these things. And that's why I like this type of sharing, these types of channels of sharing information, ideas of whatever. And that's exactly right. Like the people are gonna be watching this content if they like it. There are some people or weird people that watch content that they don't like and they leave hateful comments. We can leave them out. But for the most part, sane people watch the content that they like. If someone watches the videos that I've been recording today and they subscribe and they find the content interesting and engaging. Maybe they like the way that I think. They find it, I don't know, whatever it is that they find it like, then they will come and watch the content. So that way, I that have this way of socializing, I would say, I have this urge always to not speak about things or ideas or whatever in a general way. I like to try and attempt to understand what I'm what is it that we're talking about, or what the idea represents, or whatever, right? I am not a um, surface guy. I like to try and go as deep as I can. People don't like this, right? People don't really like to sit down and talk about the same concept or the same ideas for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and I do enjoy that. So hopefully here on YouTube I find a community, or I find people that like this way of, of communication. And I also admit that I'm not great at it, right? I don't get resentful, like really resentful with friends and people that I talk and show that they don't care, because I know that I'm not necessarily great at expressing my ideas. That might be related to the fact that I have ADHD and anxiety, and when I'm around people, I have to use a lot of energy to keep that at bay. I'm also not used to having a camera in my face and speaking like this, but I think, I mean, I'm not necessarily anxious about doing this, and I don't have to fight anxiety as much. So I think this is a good place to practice my speaking skills, and maybe keep a little bit of the craziness, which I like, keep a bit of the eccentric and all over the place thinking and that I have when I speak about the things that I like to speak about, but also maybe structure it a little bit so it's more digestible. Yeah, so that's it. Um, that's what I wanted to talk about in this specific video. Let's see what else comes to mind. And yeah, let's see which thoughts will die today. Thank you.